welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Phil. In case you're clicking this video for the first time, you are very much welcome. Today we are baking. Today we are baking this yummy chocolate cake. Yo, this one is so good. You will just love it. Anyone can make this at home. So here's the thing, guys, I never used to like baking at all, but let me tell you, I'm slowly falling in love with baking and I'm really loving it. This without a doubt is going to be the best chocolate cake you'll ever make at home. It's super moist, so yummy. It's covered with chocolate frosting and chocolate ganache, which I've also showed you how to make them in this video. The recipe is super simple. Anyone can bake this cake at home. I've listed the ingredients in the description box down below, so don't forget to check on that. So you can make this cake for your birthdays or any small occasion. I'm telling you, everyone will love this. So without saying more, let's get started. So we'll start by cracking some eggs. So I'm using 2 eggs for this recipe. Just go ahead and crack 2 eggs to your bowl. If you don't like eggs, you can just omit it. So whisk that. This will take about 30 seconds. Next, I'm adding granulated sugar. So I'm using 1 cup of granulated sugar. Next, we will add some buttermilk, but since I don't have buttermilk at home, I'm just going ahead to make it, which is actually very simple. You only need 1 cup of whole milk, and I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. You'll just mix that and let it sit for about 5 minutes. This will allow the milk to slightly curdle, giving it that buttermilk-like texture and taste. So just go ahead and add it to your bowl. So the buttermilk really helps the cake to be super moist, giving you that yummy melt in your mouth cake. In place of buttermilk, you can as well use just plain yogurt. Next, you're going ahead to add some vegetable oil. So I'm using 1 cup of vegetable oil. I'm following that with 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. You'll just go ahead and whisk this until all the sugar that we added has been dissolved. So remember, guys, I've listed the full ingredients for this recipe in the description box down below, so don't forget to check on that. Next, you're going ahead to add our dry ingredients. So I'm just going to sieve 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cups of unsweetened cocoa powder. So remember, guys, I'm not using drinking chocolate powder, I'm using cocoa powder, so just note that. I've also added a teaspoon each of baking powder, baking soda, and salt. So just go ahead and sieve that. So sieving helps remove all the lumps that's in the cocoa powder and the flour, making your batter smooth. So just go in with your spatula and then you're going to mix this for about 1 minute or until everything is nicely incorporated. Next, you're going to add coffee water. So to make the coffee water, you will need 1 cup of hot water. To that, you will add 1 tablespoon of coffee granules. Go ahead and quickly mix that. This may take about 30 seconds. Once you're done, you just go ahead and add it to your bowl. You'll continue mixing this until you have a very smooth batter. So the coffee really enhances the chocolate flavor in this cake, and also the hot water makes your batter thinner and it will give you a very lighter cake. Once your batter is ready, we'll transfer it to a baking tin. So here I have an 8-inch baking tin. So first, I'm just going ahead to grease it with some butter. You can use vegetable oil as well. So make sure all the sides of your baking tin are covered with butter. Next, I'm just going ahead to add some parchment paper. So this is just to avoid my cake sticking at the bottom. So once I'm done, I'm just going ahead to add the cake batter to my baking tin. Go ahead and give it a quick tap. This is just to remove the air bubbles that might be in the batter, and then you'll just preheat your oven for about 10 minutes. You're going to bake this at 170 degrees Celsius or 335 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 hour. And as you can see, our cake is ready, and you will know it's ready when you insert a toothpick at the center and it comes out clean. So now I'm just going to transfer this cake to a plate, and then next I'm going to remove that parchment paper. Our cake looks very good at this point, so we'll just let this cool completely. In the meantime, let's make our chocolate frosting and chocolate ganache. So these are the simple ingredients to make the chocolate frosting. So we will need 2 cups of unsalted butter. You will add that to your bowl, and then you're just going to take your hand mixer. You're going to whisk this for about 2 minutes. Once the butter has been softened, you'll go ahead and sieve 1.5 cups of powdered sugar or icing sugar. I'm also adding 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. So we're just sieving this to remove any lumps that's in the icing sugar and the cocoa powder, because we don't want any bumps in our cake frosting. Once you're done sieving, continue mixing that until everything is nicely incorporated. This may take about 2 minutes. Our cake frosting looks good at this point. So for our final step, we will add some chocolate ganache. So to make the chocolate ganache, you will need 1/2 cup of dark chocolate. So remember guys, I'm using dark compound chocolate, which is actually very good for baking. This is a very nice baking chocolate. So I'm not using chocolate that you normally eat, because sometimes you guys can be funny. You might just go ahead and use the chocolates that we eat, which is not good for baking, and that will not give you good results. So this is the brand that I'm using, Dairyland. They normally have very nice baking chocolate. You can also get them in small quantities, and they are available in any local supermarket. Also, for making the ganache, you will need 1/2 cup of heavy cream. You will add that to your chocolate, and then you're just going to pop this in the microwave. You will heat this for about 5 minutes or until the chocolate has melted. So if you don't have a microwave, you can as well put your bowl on top of hot water. Let that sit for about 5 minutes until the chocolate has melted. Then you'll just give this a quick mix until everything is nicely incorporated. So our ganache looks ready at this point. So you'll divide this ganache into 2. So the first half will go to our cake frosting, and the other half will use it to top our cake. So go ahead and use your hand mixer. Continue mixing this for about 1 minute or until everything is nicely incorporated. And our cake frosting is ready. So next we're just going to quickly prepare our cake. So make sure that at this point your cake has completely cooled. So you'll just go ahead and remove that top layer, which is always crusty. So make sure you level it very nicely. Next, I'm going to divide my cake in half. So this cake is going to be a 2-layer cake. So I'm just using a zigzag knife. And also, since I don't have a cake turntable, I'm just using my cutting board to turn the cake. In future, I'll invest in a cake turntable, but for now, the chopping board will do. So make sure that you've cut the cake very nicely. Once you're done, you'll slowly remove that top layer cake. Set that aside as we go to our next step. So here I have a cake board that is normally used to assemble the cake. So you can always get this at shops that sells baking accessories or baking equipments. They are always very cheap. So I'll spread a small amount of the cake frosting on the board. This is just to prevent the cake from moving while we are assembling it. So you will place the down layer on the board, and then you'll take a generous amount of the cake frosting. You'll spread it evenly on top of that layer. Next, you'll slowly place the top layer, and then you'll continue adding the frosting. Make sure that all sides of the cake are covered with the frosting. So I'm just going ahead to use my palette knife to spread and smoothen the cake frosting all over the cake. And the cake is looking great at this point. All the sides have been covered with that cake frosting, and I've also cleaned all the mess that was on the cake board. So now it's to add our toppings. This is the chocolate ganache that we divided earlier. I've transferred it to this small bottle. I also have some cake frosting that remained, so I'm just going ahead to transfer it to a piping bag. I'm also going to use a star nozzle. I'm using 1E star nozzle. I also have some chocolate sprinkles that we will use to finish topping this cake. So now we'll just go ahead and drizzle the chocolate ganache on the edges of the cake all around until you're all done. Also, you will fill the top of the cake with the chocolate ganache. Spread it nicely. Make sure that all sides are covered. Next, you'll just make cute swirls around the cake, and once you're done, you will top it with the chocolate sprinkles. I also like adding some patterns at the bottom of the cake, as you see the way I'm doing it here. And that's just it, guys. Our cake is ready, so you'll just refrigerate this until you are ready to serve. But if you want to serve it immediately, let it sit in the fridge for at least 30 minutes before you serve. And guys, that's just it. This is the best chocolate cake you will make at home. It's rich in chocolate flavor, super moist. The frosting is just so yummy. Everything in this cake is so good, guys. So I hope you try it. You can make this for your birthdays or any occasion that you like. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I did. And that's what we're making today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. As you can see, it is very easy and simple to make this yummy chocolate cake. I hope you're going to try it, and as usual, if you try it, don't forget to tell me how yours came out on the comment section down below. I promise you this is going to be your go-to chocolate cake. So anyway, guys, for more of my amazing recipes, you can get me on Instagram or on TikTok at feels_kitchen. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more of my amazing recipes. So till my next video, guys, bye.